Now, you made a little bit of news yesterday on the Jim Rome show. You basically shut down the idea of this Jones-Alex Pereira fight. And I want to ask you this, and you said if John, well, I guess the winner will fight Aspinall is basically what you said, because you're not calling the winner. So let me ask you this. Don't you think it makes John look bad saying he wants to fight not the number one contender in the heavyweight division if he wins? He wants to fight a guy who just a little over a year ago was a middleweight.
Right. Listen, Jon Jones always says and does things that might not make him look great. But anybody out there that thinks that Jon Jones is afraid of anybody is crazy. I mean, if you look at what he did in the light heavyweight division, then he moves up, takes on the number one guy who basically, if he doesn't go for the armbar in the fight with Francis, beats Francis, right?
Right.
Yeah. It's just
yeah,
Jon
I don't
Jones.
think he's afraid, but it's weird. There's something going on there, though.
No, it's not weird. It's classic Jon Jones. I mean, that is classic Jon Jones.
Interesting. Now, he made a comment after the press conference yesterday. You didn't see him at the press conference, but when you said, yes, the winner will face Tom Aspinall, he kind of rolls his eyes and gets a big grin on his face. And then yesterday he made a comment and he said something to the effect of, do you want another fight with me, or do you just want to be done with me totally? Like basically saying, he's not going to accept the idea of fighting Aspinall, and that you guys would eventually give in and go for a Pereira fight, which would be a big fight, monetarily.
Which I would not, because if I say I'm going to do something, I'm not going to fucking do it. No, I didn't hear that. But again, this is classic Jon Jones. John, this is what will happen. John will fight tomorrow. And if John wins, he will disappear. You won't see him. You won't hear from him. He won't be posting on social media. He won't be doing interviews. And then he will eventually resurface and say, I'm ready to come back and I'm ready to fight Tom Aspinall. Or I'm going to retire and I'm done. I've proven everything there is to prove, and he wouldn't be wrong.
Yeah. Do you feel like John's performance tomorrow is going to dictate, because you said, you were upset at where Khalil Roundtree was ranked because you felt like his current performance dictated him being ranked higher. So that would suggest that what happened 10, 11, 12 years ago when we're ranking who is best now shouldn't factor in, right? And so shouldn't John's performance against Stipe be the biggest determinant of where he is ranked, if he's ranked at all?
Not if he wins.
Why not? Let's say he wins. So just winning, no matter what, he should be number one.
The weirdest fucking thing about this whole thing is I'm talking to guys who supposedly know about fighting, right? And when you think about, this dude has never lost a fight in 16 years in mixed martial arts. What else is there to say? He's beat
He's the greatest of all time.
The all-time greats, right? Okay, then let's talk about pound for pound. He moves up to heavyweight and goes through the fucking number one guy in the world like it was nothing. And I'm telling you right now, Francis left and went to the fucking goofy PFL where he doesn't have to fucking fight anybody. So he didn't have to fight fucking Jon Jones. He is the pound for pound best fighter in the world. Because when you think about what pound for pound means, it's like, how would you do in other weight classes? Well, he fucking showed us that, right? It's undeniable. It's ridiculous that anybody who claims they know about fighting would even fucking ask that question.
Well, that's why I asked it, right? So it was me. That's why I asked it.
It's not just you. It's a lot of people. It's crazy.
I am going to say this, and I don't want to get off on the tangent on this. So this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then we'll move on. I just think current performance has to factor into it, right? John has been the pound for pound number one, right? He has been the pound for pound number one, and I've had him ranked number one. After he beat Cyril Gane, I had him ranked number one. But let's say he wins a decision that you think, or a lot of people think, he lost to Stipe Miocic, right? Or he looks lackluster. Don't we have to consider how Alex Pereira looks and how Ilia Topuria looks and how Islam Makhachev looks before we end up, making our decision who's number one?
100%. I agree with you. And but if he wins the fight, regardless of whatever, he's the number one pound for pound fighter in the world.
I will concede to you if he wins and looks good. I agree with that. If he wins and looks questionable, then there's a,
What's if he wins and looks questionable? He's 38 fucking years old. He wins the fight. He moved up a weight class, buzzsawed through the number one guy in the world, and then beat the greatest heavyweight of all time. It doesn't even make sense what you people are fucking talking about. It's madness.